When you invest in real estate, you are essentially a business person. You're an entrepreneur, okay, in a sense, right? Although it's much less involved than running a company. That's like really a lot of complexity, right, compared to a real estate investment. But, I was having this debate with a good friend of mine a few weeks ago. This game of buying houses and renting them out is a pretty simple business. Okay. It's not very complicated at all. Now, can you go listen to my 1932 podcast episodes and learn more about it? Sure, you can. Can you optimize it more? Absolutely. But look, I grew up with my mother who was just buying a few houses and renting them out. She was self-managing them, never had any property managers, never it wasn't her first thing. She had a job always, right? It is a relatively simple thing. But of course, if you want to get really good at it, you can optimize it by learning more and doing more, of course. But people should not overcomplicate this. And maybe my whole industry is to blame for making people think that it's too complicated. It's just really not that complicated, okay? I mean, for thousands of years, literally thousands of years, okay? I mean, in ancient Rome, there were landlords, okay? And there were tenants. And, I actually talked about that on a podcast maybe a few months ago, where I talked about how much of your income in ancient Rome could be used to rent a house. And interestingly, the rent to income ratio is about the same as we practice today, about 1/3. Isn't that interesting? Right? And this is just not a complicated thing. There's zillions of mom and pop landlords who never listened to a podcast because they didn't even have podcasts when they did it, okay? Who never read a real estate book, okay? Who just bought some houses and rented them to people. It's not that complicated, folks. Now, of course, you can be better at it, okay? But I just don't want to put up huge barriers for people by overcomplicating it, right? It's a pretty easy business. It's pretty simple. Buy houses, rent them to people, collect the rent.